David Ward got out of jail earlier this year after serving time for theft by contractor, but it doesn't seem like he learned his lesson. We found he's moved to a new city and may be up to his old tricks.
Patterson brought Jamie here to Douglas County. What we don't know yet is whether or not he'll be charged here for any of the crimes he may have committed during the more than 80 days he held Jamie inside this home.
This area of the park is marked with signs like the one behind me warning people not to swim because of the strong current which is created over here where the Pike River meets Lake Michigan. Still, we've seen people here swimming all day long.
Already, District 5 is clearly anticipating more protesters tonight. Just in the last 15 minutes, we've seen several armored cars arriving here. The most shocking part of this whole hearing actually came at the end after the mics had been cut and people were starting to file out. Jake Patterson turned to all of us in the gallery as he was being let out, and he said, "Bye, Jamie." The group spent about 45 minutes in front of police headquarters, and they're now continuing their march up State Street. Lynn's disappearance sparked one of the largest searches in county history. The challenge, though, her neighborhood is surrounded by acres of fields. Today's hearing was virtual. No one was actually inside the courtroom. It only lasted a few minutes, but the defense made it clear Kyle Rittenhouse is not going back to Wisconsin without a fight.
If you're one of those people, you've still got your absentee ballot, here are what your options are. You can go vote in person. You can take that absentee ballot to one of the drop boxes, but you have to do that by 7:30.
Gut-wrenching details about James and Denise Kloss's final moments and the terror that Jamie endured all laid out in court today before the judge sent Jake Patterson to prison for the rest of his life.
County 911, where is your husband?
For the first time, we heard the desperate 911 call Denise Kloss made from the bathroom where she and Jamie huddled together as Jake Patterson tried to ram down the door. Some screams, then the line goes dead as the door gives way.
The nightmare of what they went through the early hours of that morning remains in my head every day.
During Friday's sentencing, the district attorney showed pictures, one underneath the bed where Patterson kept Jamie captive for 88 days, and the Kloss family asked the judge to sentence Patterson to the maximum.
My brother won't be able to walk down the aisle at a wedding day.
The most powerful words came from a letter written by Jamie. She says, though she's still struggling and scared, Patterson did not break her.
He can't take my freedom. He thought that he could own me, but he was wrong.
Patterson spoke briefly, apologizing.
I would do, absolutely anything to take back what I did,
But the judge didn't buy it.
You are the embodiment of evil.
Ultimately, Jake Patterson got the sentence Jamie wanted, life in prison with no chance of release.
He can't ever change me or take away who I am. He can't stop me from being happy and moving forward with my life.
Immediately after sentencing, Jamie's aunt spoke, thanking the community for all of their support and saying Jamie will probably have more to say at a later time, but now they want to move forward and begin to heal as a family. Reporting in Barron County, Kristen Barbaresi, CBS 58 News. Bill and Kate, Andrew Tyler spent hours in surgery today. His family tells me his legs are crushed and doctors might have to amputate. And tonight they're asking for your help to find the person who did this.
How can you leave someone in the street like that, just fighting for their life right now? He has children, he has grandchildren.
Sitting in a hospital waiting room, the family of Andrew Tyler watched as police asked for help finding the driver who nearly killed him.
He's a true public servant and is an extraordinarily reliable employee.
The 71-year-old was hit as he walked to his crossing guard post. Chief Flynn's description of Tyler, who helps Kluge Elementary kids get safely to and from school every day, couldn't be more accurate.
He's always telling me, the kids over there, they need me. There's some kids that are so poor that they don't have jackets. He'll go buy jackets at Century.
Alec Tyler says his grandpa is always thinking of others.
Anybody who got in the car for my grandpa, it'll have, a heartfelt letter into it. That's how he knows he's thinking of you.
Police say the suspect is driving a maroon Buick like this one, likely with front-end damage.
It's ironic because he talks about how people drive and how dangerous it is, but he really wants to protect the children.
Tyler's family wants this to be a wake-up call to people out there driving recklessly.
Today, it was, a 71-year-old man. Tomorrow, it could be a little kid.
And more than anything, they want the person responsible for this off the streets.
That's what it's all about, you know. He gives, and now he needs to receive the help from the community. You know, if anybody has any information, they need to come forward.
The family also wanted to thank the woman who called 911 and stayed with Tyler until paramedics arrived. And again, if you know that car, if you recognize it, do the right thing and call police. Live outside Freighter Hospital, Kristen Barbaresi, CBS 58 News.
Thousands of people are getting this phone call. It's an automated message supposedly from the IRS. It gives you a number to call back saying you owe money and could be arrested. Well, we decided to call back.
Alex Marshall with a badge number of 55028.
This man, claiming to be an IRS agent, told me I owe $4,000 in unpaid taxes and threatened to have me arrested if I didn't pay up.
Simply, you need to go to your bank. Once you reach at your bank, simply you need to get this money in the cash.
After playing along for about 15 minutes, I told the scammer who I really am. I'm an investigative reporter. We're working on a story about the scam that you're running.
Not your concern. Mind your own business.
The man, who admitted his name isn't really Alex Marshall, didn't hang up. Instead, he told me more about what he does. He says he works in another country with about 30 others.
I'm not scamming a people who is living on a street. I'm scamming a people who can able to pay me $1,000. So we are not like you. We are a scammer, but we are a human. We are not like you. Because in your country, you people don't have a humility.
He also bragged about how successful this scam is.
In December 2017, I got 153,000. In January, I got 182,000. In February, I got 120,000.
We played our conversation with the scammer for Christopher Miller, who actually works for the IRS.
Wow, these people are very brazen.
And Miller says these con artists make a lot of money. Since the phone scam started in October of 2013, people across the country have been conned out of $62 million. In Wisconsin, people lost about $700,000.
Unfortunately, these scammers will prey on those people's intention to do the right thing and work on fear and intimidation.
Here are some tips to make sure you don't get scammed. If the IRS is actually trying to reach you, they will mail you a notice first. The IRS will never call out of the blue and threaten arrest, and will never ask you to pay over the phone or with a prepaid card or gift card.
And if you have any question as to whether or not the IRS is truly trying to get a hold of you, hang up and call us at a number you know and can independently trust to be the IRS.
Miller says because most scammers are outside the U.S., it can be hard to catch them. The scammer we talked to made it clear he doesn't think police will ever catch up with him.
Okay, I'm sitting over here in my country. I'm challenging your country, your government. If you have a dare, try and find me.
Police in India arrested several people last year for running this scam, but because it's so profitable, the IRS says when one group is shut down, another pops up. If you get one of these calls, you should report it to the IRS. We've got a link on our website, cbs58.com.
We keep doing stories about the problems with unemployment, in part because people keep asking us for help. And it seems like some of them finally get answers when we take their cases to the Department of Workforce Development. Tens of thousands of people in Wisconsin are still waiting for unemployment benefits. Some filed back in April, some are facing evictions.
We're $900 plus behind in rent. We're behind on our utilities.
One woman is pregnant and unable to pay her bills.
It's hurtful, it's stressful.
Another woman tells CBS 58 Investigates she applied in April, was denied in July, appealed, and finally won that appeal in October. Now she's waiting to get paid.
It's been horrible. To me, I'm stressed. I have my anxiety is bad, and I'm facing an eviction myself.
The Department of Workforce Development says it's processed 92.7% of the unemployment claims filed between March 15th and October 31st. But that still leaves nearly 76,000 people waiting for claims to be processed. There are another 12,000 who were denied and are appealing the decision.
We can't buy cleaning supplies like we need to. We can't buy toilet paper like we need to. We're sitting here on the verge of being kicked out of our place in the middle of a pandemic.
CBS 58 Investigates has been able to get some people answers. After our story last month, 2 people got approved and paid. Redante Jones says he also finally got a call back.
A day or so after you guys ran your story, and he called me and he said that it had finally came across his desk.
But he still has not received any money. Jones says his claim was denied. He's now appealing the decision. The DWD has repeatedly denied our request for an interview, but I did send them the names of the people who asked us for help. I was told, quote, our constituent services team that looks into referred cases will be reviewing inquiries from the press to determine the status of claims, address any issues, and get the claims resolved. People tell me it's frustrating. Some cases only seem to get resolved when a reporter gets involved.
I'm on a string of prayer. That's all I have is prayer.
This afternoon, DWD did respond to some questions in an email. They say in addition to adding staff, they're working to better train staff. They also say there's several things they're, quote, looking to implement. Reporting in Milwaukee, Kristen Barbaresi, CBS 58 Investigates.